Good morning, students. In my first video of topic active and passive voice, subject English grammar, I have taught you about the meaning of active voice and passive voice, how to identify active and passive. In next video, I have taught you the structure of the sentences in different tenses of active voice and passive voice. So by following those structure, we are going to solve few examples of active voice and passive voice. So first of all, we are going to learn about the assertive sentences. So one thing you make clear that in my previous video, the part 1 of active and passive voice, I have taught you that when you are going to change active to passive or passive to active, there is no change of tenses and there is no change of type of sentences. You have to make sure about this. The only change is there is what? That in active voice, the doer of the verb is subject and receiver of the verb is object. In passive voice, the receiver of the verb becomes subject here and doer of the verb becomes object here. So this is the only changes you have to do. There is no change of tenses and no change of type of sentences. If active voice denote present indefinite, the passive voice will also denote present indefinite. If active voice denote assertive sentence, passive voice will also denote assertive sentence. If active voice denote interrogative sentence, passive voice will also denote interrogative sentence. Means there is no change in the type of sentences whether in active voice or passive voice. So first of all, have a look over this chart table about voice, active voice and passive voice. So look at the first example. She writes a letter. So as I have taught you that how to identify whether the given verb of the sentence is in active voice or passive voice. So first of all, we have to identify the main verb. So what is the main verb here is write. Now after that, who is the doer of the verb? So doer is she. And what is the receiver of this verb? A letter. So here, this one is your receiver and here it is doer. So here, doer of the verb denotes subject. So this denotes active voice and receiver of the verb here is denoting object, means it is active voice. And after that, identify the tense. So as the main verb writes written in first form by adding s, means she denotes singular subject, so we add s by following the subject verb agreement here. And this denote what type of tense? So this denote indefinite tense of present tense. So and also she writes a letter. This sentence denote assertive sentence, that means something is told in this sentence and the tense here is present indefinite. So when we change this active voice to passive voice, so we must sure that we are not going to change the tense of the sentence also and the type of sentence also. Now as the doer of the verb here is subject, and receiver of the verb here is object, denoting active voice. In passive voice, we make subject receiver of the verb, means object part. So or later become here subject. Now in my second video, part 2, I have taught you the structure of sentences in passive voice in different tenses. So as it denote present indefinite, so is there at there. I have taught you to use is, am, are. So as a later denote singular case, so we use is. And after that, the third form of verb is used, and then by adding by, we mention the doer of the verb. See. So see here denoting subject in active voice, personal pronoun. But when it become object, we use write the objective pronoun for she is her. So here a letter is your receiver and her here is your doer, and is written become the verb of this sentence. So she writes a letter. A letter is written by her. She writes a letter denote assertive sentence. A letter is written by her denote assertive sentence. She writes a letter denote present indefinite tense. A letter is written by her denote present indefinite tense. Means there is no change of tenses and type of sentence while converting active to passive or passive to active. The only change is there is what? The doer of the verb here become object in passive voice, and receiver of the verb of active voice become subject here. So this is the only change we have to do. So this denote present indefinite tense assertive sentence. This also denote present indefinite tense assertive sentence. Now she has painted many pictures. The next example. The active voice. She has painted many pictures. Who has painted? She has painted. Means the main verb here is your painted, and who is doing the act of painting? She. So she is the subject here, and what she has been painted? Many picture. So many picture is the object here. Means the action of painting reflect on picture. So here the doer of the verb is subject. So active voice. Now this change in passive voice, many pictures have been painted by her. The receiver of the subject verb here becomes subject, and doer of the verb here become object. She has painted many pictures denoting assertive sentence. Many pictures have been painted by her denoting assertive sentence. She has painted, has painted, has we use in perfect case in present tense. So this example denote present perfect tense. So the change in passive voice will also in present perfect tense. Many pictures have been painted by her. So have denote perfect case in present tense. So here one question arises that here we have used has and here we have used have. So why this change is there? She has painted. When subject singular we use has. Many picture is the subject here and many picture denote plural subject. So we use have. So has and have both are used in perfect case in present tense, denoting present perfect tense. So this is the second example. She wrote, third example. He is playing a piano. Is playing. Is denote present, playing denote continuous. So this tense here is present continuous. He is playing a piano. Who is playing? He. Doer of the verb, subject here. So active voice. What? He is playing a piano. A piano is the receiver of the verb. Now in passive voice we have to make receiver of the verb as subject, a piano. Now A piano denotes singular, so is. If it denotes plural, then are. So a piano is. Now as it is continuous, we use being by following the structure. Now playing is the main verb here. So playing, the first form of playing is play. And as I have taught you that in passive voice we always use third form of verb. So the third form of play is played. Now by adding by, the doer of the verb become object. So he became him here. Objective case. She wrote a letter. She wrote a letter. So wrote here is the second form of verb write. So denoting past indefinite tense. Assertive sentence. So we will make passive voice also in past indefinite tense. So what she had written? A letter. So a letter here becomes subject. Now as it denotes past indefinite tense. So by following the structure in past indefinite we use was or were. So a letter singular, then was, write, wrote is the second form, write is the first form, and in passive we write third form of the verb. So third form of the write is written. A letter was written by her. She had painted many pictures. So again had denote perfect case but in past tense. So this denote past perfect tense. So here receiver of the verb becomes subject, many picture. Now as per the structure shown for passive voice in past perfect tense, had been, many pictures had been painted, third form of the verb, by her. The doer became here object. He was playing a piano. Was playing denote past continuous tense. So the passive for past continuous is also in past continuous. A piano. Now as per the structure we use was or were. So a piano denotes singular case. So was, as it is continuous we use being, played, third form of verb, by him. She will call you tomorrow. Will denote future case, and after will the first form of verb is used here. So denoting future indefinite tense. So as it denotes future indefinite tense, the passive will also be in future indefinite tense. She will call you. The call is the main verb here. The doer is she. Doer is who? She. And receiver is you. So here we have to make the receiver of the verb as subject. So as you is the receiver, you become subject here. Now as it is will denoting future indefinite tense. So by following the structure in for passive voice in future indefinite tense, will be or shall be. So will be. Now then verb third form. Call is the main verb here. The third form of verb is called by she. She became here object, her. Tomorrow, remaining part of the sentence. So this is the changes we made. So one thing is clear here, that while changing active to passive or passive to active, the type of sentence remains same and the type of tense remains same. Means there is no change in the type of tenses and type of sentences. If it denote present indefinite, passive will also denote present indefinite. If it denote past indefinite, this also denote past indefinite. Future indefinite, future indefinite. Likewise, all the tenses remain same and the type of sentence also remains same. As it denote assertive case, so this also denote assertive sentence. He will have finished his work. Will have finished. Will have used, we generally use in perfect case. So will denote future. So this denote future perfect tense. So his work will have been finished by him, also denoting future perfect tense. So here he will have finished. So doer of the verb finish is he. He became subject here and the receiver is his work, reflection. So his verb becomes subject. Will have been we add in passive voice structure. Finish third form of verb, by him. Now look at the next example. So this is all about assertive case, assertive sentence. So the tense also remains same and the type of sentence also remain same. Now these four examples denoting which type of sentences. Interrogative sentence, as question mark is given here. So question mark denote interrogative sentence. That means something is asked there. So we can call it interrogative sentence or question sentence. So question sentence are generally of two types. One, question sentence is framed with helping verb or called auxiliary verb like is, am, are, was, were, do, does, like this. And another interrogative sentence we make with question word family word like how, which, who, what. So these are the question word family word. Do you call me? So do here denote helping verb, not question word. So do you call me? So do, generally we use do denote which type of sentence? Present indefinite. And for passive voice in present indefinite, the structure is. So is, am, are. So do you call me? So call is the main verb, me is the receiver. So me became here subject. So I. And as it is framed with auxiliary verb, so we use the auxiliary verb. So with I we use am I. Then verb third form. Call is the main verb here, third form verb is called. By. Who is the doer? You. And put the question mark here. Means interrogative sentence remain interrogative. Does she write a story? Again with auxiliary verb, interrogative sentence. So write a story. Who is writing a story? She. So she is the doer and receiver is a story. A story becomes subject and we use auxiliary verb here. So a story denotes singular. So in passive voice we use is, am, are. So a story denoting singular we use is a story. Now write is the main verb. The third form of verb write is written by her. Why did you call me? Why I was called by you. So did denoting past indefinite tense. So in past indefinite tense we use was. Now as it is framed with WH question word, so we write the same WH question word in the beginning. Why I was called by you. Who taught you English? So who denote changes to by whom. So by whom subject, you were taught English. So this is the one mistake is here. One mistake is here. Look it very carefully. And what is mistake here? Why was I? By whom were you? Now, as it denote interrogative sentence, so the first one which I have written here, why I was called by you. After question word, if you want to make interrogative sentence, so after question word we have to write the helping verb, not direct subject. This rule we use in narration while changing direct to indirect speech. But here this is not the narration type. This is only changing active to passive. So just after the question word we have to write the auxiliary verb or helping verb. Then subject. Then verb third form. By whom were you? So whom denoting question word. Now just after question word we have to write the helping verb. You taught English. Who taught you English? Who taught you English? Taught is the verb here. Now you English. So English here is your receiver. The receiver becomes subject here. By whom were you taught English? You is the receiver here. Clear? The direct object you. You became here subject. So this is all about voice, and few examples I have detailed you. Try to understand it very carefully. And generally students make mistake in these two types, which I have written earlier, that why I was called, but that is wrong. Why was I called? because this is active and passive, not the narration. So just after the question word, if helping verb is used, then it denotes interrogative sentence, otherwise it does not denote interrogative sentence. So this you have to make sure about this. This is the only changes in this. So this is all about active voice and passive voice in assertive case and interrogative case. So what we have seen here, the assertive remain assertive in active or passive. Interrogative remain interrogative either in active or passive. And the tense, if it denote present indefinite, here also present indefinite. Clear? If it denote past indefinite, here also past indefinite. So no change of tenses and no change of type of sentences. So in this video, I have detailed with examples of assertive and interrogative, how to make assertive and interrogative the passive voice. What rule you have to follow? Generally, once again I am detailing you that generally a student make mistake in this type, WH question word. So if WH question word is there, don't use the subject direct, use the helping verb whatever given there. So as it denote did, so did we use in past indefinite case. And passive voice, the structure for passive voice in my second part of this video, which I have taught you, that in the structure for passive voice we use was or were, then verb third form. So as it denotes subject I, so for I we use was. So why was I called by you? By whom were you? So you, again here it denotes past indefinite. You here, with you we use were. So we use here were, not was. By whom were you taught English? And put the question mark also. The punctuation you have to make sure. So this is all about active and passive voice. Thank you.